Get in the game with NFL Sunday Ticket from Rev TV. You'll get every game every Sunday afternoon in crystal clear HD. That's over 220 football games for the entire regular season. Plus, NFL Sunday Ticket gives you up to 8 live games on one screen with Game Mix. You'll get that died and woke up in football heaven experience when you include NFL Red Zone, a channel dedicated to every scoring play from every game and all your fantasy football teams. Get in the game with NFL Sunday Ticket. Call 601-8992 today.
Fort Charlotte MP Dr. Andre Rollins and Bamboo Town MP Renward Wells join the Free National Movement. This as the Prime Minister considers blocking MPs from switching sides without triggering a by-election, while opposition leader Dr. Hubert Minnis calls it a historic moment. Plus, islands in the southeast still picking up the pieces after Joaquin. We've got those stories and more coming up tonight. I'm Dana Smith, and NB12 starts right now. Talking news tonight. Following a tumultuous relationship with the Progressive Liberal Party, Bamboo Town MP Renward Wells and Fort Charlotte MP Dr. Andre Rollins announced today that they have joined the Free National Movement. The opposition now has 10 MPs in the House of Assembly, while the governing party now has 27 seats. Wells is the third PLP MP to quit the party under the PLP's current term in office. Vonique Toot reports.
Weeks after meeting with Free National Movement leader Dr. Hubert Minnis, Bamboo Town MP Renward Wells and Fort Charlotte MP Dr. Andre Rollins announced in Parliament today that they have joined forces with the opposition. They even took it upon themselves to take new seats in the House of Assembly. Wells says his transition from the Progressive Liberal Party began during the letter of intent controversy, which he called a teachable moment, a phrase made popular by Prime Minister Perry Christie.
At this juncture in my life, Mr. Speaker, and in the life of this nation, I choose to formally disassociate myself from the PLP. Yes. Yeah. I now choose to associate myself with the alternative government and all those who seek new leadership and a better, brighter, booming Bahamas. Oh boy. I therefore wish to advise that I am joining forces with the members of the Free National Movement.
Oh yes, oh yeah.
And with that, Renward Wells picked up his books and left the Progressive Liberal Party's backbenchers to take up a seat next to F&M MP Richard Lightbourne. Then it was Andre Rollins' turn.
Mr. Speaker, I thank the constituents of Fort Charlotte for the opportunity to represent them. And it is my hope that they will understand and endorse my actions here today, as I exercise my conscience by joining the ranks of the members of the Free National Movement here in this honorable House of Assembly.
As both government and opposition MPs banged on their desks, the Fort Charlotte MP then left his old seat in Parliament and made his way next to Wells. Though Rollins quit the PLP back in June, Wells officially disassociated himself from the governing party today. He said the letter of intent controversy, which resulted in him being fired as parliamentary secretary in the Ministry of Works last year, was the beginning of the end of his time in the PLP.
Notwithstanding the words and actions of senior politicians, I have taken responsibility for the LOI matter because I proceeded without written approval. As some would say, that was a teachable moment. From that teachable moment onward, in all truth, Mr. Speaker, I began a transition both mentally and emotionally, to the point where I ceased to be a member of the Progressive Liberal Party.
The Nassau Guardian's National Review reported on Monday that Wells and Rollins were being courted by the opposition following a tumultuous relationship with the PLP. Rollins, who once declared the country needs new leadership, said he stands removed from the party that helped to bring him to the House of Assembly because he refused to walk the party line.
The offense for which I was tried and convicted was that I dared to tell the emperor that he had no clothes. My strong convictions and passion to see positive changes in the governance and development of this nation were not appreciated. I ran into a wall of resistance built on a foundation of intolerance to internal dissent. The promises of change were hollow.
However, Rollins said he refuses to give up on his country and remains committed to staying the course and fighting for a more secure, prosperous future for Bahamians. House Speaker Dr. Kendall Major said Wells and Rollins asked him to make brief personal statements, and he allowed it.
They have national ramifications and important implications to the makeup of this House.
Now that they've made the switch, the two MPs say they look forward to a better and booming government in the future. Reporting from the House of Assembly for NB12, I'm Voinik Toot.
Prime Minister Perry Christie revealed he was waiting for Renward Wells and Dr. Andre Rollins to join the FNM, adding he wants to be able to congratulate them on the decision they made as young Bahamians. However, he said the image Bahamians will see speaks volumes. Christie admitted that he had contemplated putting forth legislation that would block members of parliament from leaving the political party they were elected under to join another party without resigning. He said MPs are elected by voters in trust that they would represent a particular political organization.
Those who know me knew that as a result of what happened in the last term, I had contemplated legislation to constitutionally not allow it to happen again without there being resignations. And there's always a challenge in our democracy of whether you say that people who are elected for one party and who decide to join another party must resign and let the people decide. Or alternatively, we want a democracy where these things happen and we allow the free will to take place. So it's a challenge that we have in what is the right balance.
However, Christie said the decision by Rollins and Wells to join the opposition is a reality they must accept. Christie also fired back at Rollins, who asserted that he was tried and convicted by members of the PLP because he dared to say the emperor had no clothes on.
Whether the emperor is someone who you know, or you're just making a reference to literature on the whole concept of change, the emperor in the Progressive Liberal Party has clothes on. Yes, sir. And he doesn't need the proverbial little boy to say, "Oh, the emperor naked," because that's the true interpretation of that particular statement. It was a little boy who said, "The emperor is without clothes."
Christie said party leaders will meet with constituents in Fort Charlotte and Bamboo Town to help them understand what has happened. In the meantime, he said the business of the country must continue.
And I would expect, in the fulfillment of our own political decision-making with respect to general elections, that the people of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas will be given an opportunity by the FNM to speak in judgment to the fate, F-A-T-E, of both members who have joined them. I assume that is what their crossing the floor means, that they will have the nomination for their respective constituencies. But, Mr. Speaker, I want to end with FAITH.
Members of the Free National Movement today welcomed the MPs to their side. Simone Davis reports.
Minnis said both Rollins and Wells are making a clear statement that the future of the Bahamas is not with the current government. He referred to them as brave soldiers and honorable men who do not want to be associated with a party that does not serve the Bahamian people.
This is their best way to demonstrate that they no longer have confidence or faith in the leadership of Prime Minister Perry Christie. MPs Wells and Rollins have been touted by Prime Minister Christie as an example of the new generation of leadership, representing the bridge to the future of the Bahamas.
The opposition leader said the Christie administration's failure to address key matters speaks directly to an overwhelmed and out-of-touch leader who's out of ideas, out of solutions, and out of time. Minnis added that both Rollins and Wells had more than enough reasons to separate themselves from the PLP.
The Free National Movement respects the personal decision made by these honorable men to sever their political affiliation with the Christie administration and the PLP. Such decisions are not lightly made and obviously must reflect a deeply thought out personal determination on their part to do what they think is best for our country and our people during these trying times. It is clear to me that these honorable gentlemen no longer want to be associated with what this government has become under the leadership of Prime Minister Christie and the PLP.
When asked if he made any political promises to Rollins and Wells when he approached them to become a part of his party, Minnis said he made no promises, asserting that he is not like the Prime Minister. Rollins suggested that since the last general election, the PLP has only proven to be nothing more than disastrous, and he would welcome the title of an opportunist if it means saving Bahamians from a failing government.
I am eager to take advantage of any opportunity to rid our country of this disastrous government. And if people see this as a move of political expediency, or as you use the word, opportunism, I welcome that. Because, quite frankly, what we are suffering from in this country at the moment, on any number of levels, is a lack of opportunity. And I'm extremely pleased to join forces with the men and women of the Free National Movement.
However, given the outspoken nature of Dr. Rollins, who previously verbally attacked the Prime Minister for his lack of leadership, Minnis said he's not worried about being in a similar position. He noted that F&M members are allowed to give constructive criticism if leaders are not doing their part. Rollins said he believes Minnis showed a great deal of humility when he approached them. And when asked if he thinks Minnis is a strong leader, Rollins said this.
His strengths may not be the same as my strengths, but it goes without saying that in this free organization, this democratic organization, he has demonstrated his strength in the most recent convention where he was elected leader of this free party by a rate of 3 votes to 1. If that is not strength, I don't know what is.
Wells noted that he previously communicated his plans to cross the floor with some of his former party members and said most members were not surprised.
Interestingly enough, some of the members understood, though, you know, when you become elected to a branch, it is usually because your heart and soul is deep within an organization. And so I would say many of them understood, and some said that it wasn't a surprise.
Minnis suggested that he is very confident that with the 2 new members of the F&M, the party is fully capable of defeating the PLP in the next general election.
I think these men, just like the Bahamian people, have seen what has been occurring in the governance of this country. They have joined today, and the Bahamian populace will join tomorrow when they outvote the PLP.
Reporting for NB12, I'm Simone Davis.
Well, it's been a month since Hurricane Joaquin ravaged the southeast Bahamas, but still, those affected are trying to pick up the pieces of their life. Tonight, NB12 presents the first in a series of reports showcasing islands and their efforts to rebuild 1 month after Joaquin. Kyle Joaquin reports.
1 month after Hurricane Joaquin battered islands like San Salvador, many of the homes still look like this one just behind me with tarps still on the roof. Now, while many of these residents say they are grateful for the many supplies they received, they are in desperate need of building supplies. Jermaine Brown came to San Salvador 15 years ago and now works at Club Med. But a month after the storm has passed, he said it's been rough.
Just taking it one day at a time, you know what I'm saying? We need the government and the people to come and do something for San Salvador. Right now we ain't getting nothing, you know what I'm saying? No materials, no nothing. People hurting, people need jobs, people need things. That's all I want to say, you know what I'm saying? People in San Salvador hurting, man. We need some assistance.
We turn around me, you see? And Nelson them come, you know, and they sort of see what they can help to do. So, only waiting on the government now to do what you're supposed to do.
So right now you're just trying to fix your roof then?
The roof have to be fixed, yeah, because everything going off the roof. You see the whole thing round and round, all the plywood, the shingle all gone.
Juanita Benson got some tarp to throw over her roof until she's able to get some plywood. She said the rooms in her house are just drying up since the storm.
Betsy and those, and there was sort of storm, they were a bad storm. But this one, they said was a category 4. But within me, I feel like it was a category 5, you know, to me, because I never hear that kind of roaring, you know, I come across the house shake.
The storm got so bad for her family, most of the time, she said, all they could do was pray. As for San Salvador's regatta site, it's no more. But for this family in Sugarloaf, the experience of enduring Joaquin is one they'll never forget. And now they're just trying to fix what they can.
The roof and most of the rocks inside fall down and lose all the furniture. See all the chairs and everything was still outside.
Yeah, we lose just about everything, you know, but thank God for life. We are still here. I believe it was a tornado and that because to be in your vehicle and you can't see nothing, you can't even see the front of your vehicle, you know, only God keep us, you know, this far.
Over at United Estates Primary School, teachers and the principal are doing the best they can. With 2 classrooms destroyed, 2 of the grade levels had to be moved to a nearby church. Now this is what's left of the 2nd grade class here at United States Primary. As you can see, the building has been destroyed. The roof is gone, the walls have been busted, and for now the students are learning inside the school's office. 2 of the trailer classrooms destroyed with walls and windows blown out and furniture scattered. For the school's principal, this wasn't her idea of getting her feet wet, as she'd only been a principal for a month before the storm.
This is what's left, and they are about to remove all the damaged trailers.
All of the furniture, the chairs, everything.
Furnitures, chairs, desks, books, everything was destroyed.
Still, the students are all smiles.
And how are you today?
Fine.
Have a seat. We got some visitors with cameras.
2 new classrooms are nearing completion with only tiles left to be laid. 1 month later, and Bruno Fernando is probably one of the San Salvador residents who's made the most progress. He said he got some financial assistance from opposition leader Dr. Hewitt Minnis and physical help from a few others. And finally, his roof is finished.
Actually, I was inside cleaning up when they trying to mop up some water when the roof blew. And so I just had to run out through the back door, and I went to my neighbor. And his roof blew, so I went in the truck, and then we ended up over in this house. Because nothing happened over there. So
members of Cable Bahamas' technical team were on the ground fixing the remainder of the damage caused by Joaquin. Crew members said they were able to reach every customer from the south to the north, and they're also making the recovery a bit easier for their customers.
Gennaro is here from our marketing department. He's handing out flyers to the customers, letting them know all the work that we've completed. But also, more importantly, I think to them is that they're going to get free services up to January 1st of next year.
And with donations and supplies still coming in, San Salvador's Chief Counselor Jonathan Knoll said they're grateful for all the support.
Magnitude of support that came to San Salvador, it is unbelievable. And I think everybody here is appreciative of what has been done and what has transpired here. We've been doing great.
Regardless, for many of the people of San Salvador, there's a long road ahead before things go back to the way they were. Reporting from San Salvador for NB12, I'm Kyle Joaquin.
When NB12 returns, a Grand Bahama taxi driver sentenced to 3 years in prison after he pleaded guilty to possession of cocaine and marijuana. Stay with us.